Oh, and are the pillows feather or foam?
Yes.
Sorry, which one?
I don't care.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I was just asking.
And I'm very much looking forward to the moment when that stops.
It doesn't matter. I don't know what to get you, and
It matters! It matters!
Doesn't matter! Just get us something!
There's a registry! You go on it! And you pick something!
When you want to talk sports, you ask folks who have seen it all up close. So on The Al Travis Show, we go with the guys at the end of the bench. Time to talk all things sports.
Love having them on. First thing on a winning Monday. It's Dan. It's John. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Couldn't be better.
Well, all right, good. Good weekend for Minnesota sports fans. Absolutely, John. Did you catch the T-Wolves games yesterday? It was a big, I want to say, upset win, only in that I think we can win at home. 116-113. But we were down 10 or 11 there at going into the third quarter, and it didn't look like we had anything going for us. Your thoughts on the game, Johnny?
I was checking in and out. I had some car trouble yesterday, so I was dealing with that during the afternoon during the game. But I was a little worried there in that third quarter, and we were down. I thought, no, we can't do this. But what a comeback. What a fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And, I said during the season, you can go back and play your records, Al, that this team can play with anybody in the league. And they're on fire now at the right time. I think the old Wolves, if this was the first half of the season, they would have folded and lost that game. They would have.
I don't necessarily disagree. Dan, your thoughts on the game, quick.
The key is to get down by 10 points. Then point late in the game. Then, but early enough that they can still change things. And that
that is funny.
I'm very impressed. Very impressed. I completely missed the fact that it was an afternoon game, so I didn't catch it to the very end, which is kind of. So I was like, "Oh shoot, they're on!" Yeah.
So it was a good ball game. I mean, it's fun to watch. The interesting fact, and this is I don't generally blame the coach, but you've got to blame the Lakers coach on this loss. I didn't realize it watching the second half, but the 5 players he took in at halftime, brought out at halftime, he did not let them sit for 1 minute of the game. This was the longest played, most minutes in any game for LeBron James. Like 46 and a half minutes or some crazy number. This guy only sat for 30, 40 seconds in the first half. The guy's 40 years old. Now, I say that. They should be in shape. He's 40. Dan, try to remember back at 40. You ever running for an hour straight playing at the highest level? I mean, it's great. It was a terrible, terrible loss.
No, we used to play pickup basketball games at our former workplace there, John. We had the lunchtime pickup basketball games. I could go for about maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah,
at a time. No, I mean obviously LeBron is a world-class athlete, but even he's still a 40-year-old man.
He's playing against other world-class athletes. It's not like he's playing against Joe Schmoes. It was a terrible. John, your thoughts on this? Can you play 5? You got 5 horses in the race, and you run them to the very end from post to post. I don't think you do. It's not been done in 40-something years in basketball.
It probably hasn't. It would be interesting to look at that.
1997, I did.
Wow.
28 years ago, somebody did that same play. It didn't say if he won or lost. Okay,
I think it was a combination of coaching and maybe the veterans on the team were telling the coach, listen, we want this. We can do this. We want to stay in and get this done. But that's when a coach needs to be a coach and recognize, no, we got to get some fresh legs in there. And it was a must-win for the Lakers, let's face it. So maybe those guys knew that, and they're like, yeah, we're going to put it all out there. But
let's just go back.
Disappointing fourth quarter for him.
3 days before Luka Doncic was sick during that ball game, at least he was declaring it, and he said the day before he didn't get off the couch. He was resting to get his legs back, and then you beat him like a horse here. I mean, it makes no sense. And in my own opinion, could that be worth 3 extra points? It sure could. Good for us. And I'm gonna throw this back out here. I know you guys know I hate Gobert, right? He had 5 points. Rudy Gobert with his 5 points and 10 rebounds. You get 10 rebounds because you're 7 foot tall. You're the tallest guy in the court. The rebound thing I don't get. But when you get Naz Reid in the ball game, he had half the minutes, 12 points. Why is Naz Reid not starting in this thing? Come on, somebody tell me why.
It's a good question because Rudy has not had a good series.
No.
And I'm surprised that we've won as well as we have without him, which is good. That shows the Wolves' depth, right? But somebody needs to kick him in the butt big time and say, what you doing, Rudy? He played 26 minutes. What are you doing? Just running up and down the court here?
Something's wrong.
You've got to get something going there.
Now, Dan, we talked about it. It's the bench difference. I said Naz and DiVincenzo coming off. You got Walker. We've got a much deeper bench than LA. Our bench did fantastic yesterday. We ran the other team, and they never put their bench on. It's a winning combo. Your thoughts on Naz and even DiVincenzo?
Well, you remember the last game, Naz. That it was not so much. That's that the bench did not have a great plus minus. So I would like to see a game where Naz does have 28 minutes or so just to see what he does, because is there some sort of thought that that Finch has that Naz needs to have the rest that Naz but I don't know. I would like to see it. I'd like to see that. See what happens when he gets that.
Yeah, LeBron James 46 minutes, Luka Doncic 46 minutes. That is just crazy.
How about DiVincenzo with 5 steals?
Oh,
five steals in a game.
That kid comes off the bench, and he is just a bullet, man. He is just ready to play. He just winds himself up. I love our bench. Our bench is the reason to win. I mean, you can't take away from Edwards 43 points. I'm not, here we haven't even talked about the Ant-Man, but he can't do that every game.
No.
So that's where, if he only scored 40, it's a tie ball game. You know what I'm saying? 43, you had to do it to win it. Good for him, but you can't expect that every night.
One of the things I loved about Ant, though, is immediately after the game, the courtside interview, he's showing he's growing up a lot because he was just gushing over his teammates.
Yes, he was.
Gushing over the rest of the floor, and he just could not stop. Although the one name he did not bring up was Rudy, but he was just gushing over everybody on the floor, and that was really neat to see.
That is cool. I'm the over and under the big fight, the bench clearing ball will happen in the next ball game. Anyone who want to take me on that? This series has been so physical. I mean, you saw the Gobert. It was on a free throw. Gobert's elbow to the back of LeBron's head. It was just fantastic. It started with just a box out, and Gobe just get right to the back of his noggin. This won't go long in the LA before a fight breaks out. I'm just saying.
I wish it wouldn't be at 9 p.m. on Wednesday.
I know.
Watch that, okay? People have to work. Come on.
They're bringing it back to 8:30.
Yeah, but they say that, and then it'll start at 8:45. But back to the TV revenue. You got it. Wow. It's in L.A., and the West Coast will watch it. I understand. But by the time you get past the Mountain Zone, us here, if we want to watch it, it's 9:30. I won't. East Coast is off. You will not see it on these. No one's staying up for this ball game. So anyway,
no.
I want to quick jump just to the other ball games, just real quick, just to talk about the playoffs, the other brackets. Thunder down the Grizzlies 4-0. It was a great ball game, fun ball game, but they're done. Yeah. Now I believe the Thunder's off for the next 2.5 weeks now before their next ball game. They're going to go on vacation and come back. The series to watch is the Nuggets and the Clippers down to the flipping wire, and it's now a 2-2 tie. Your thoughts on those? That's still a great. That's gone. Is that tonight at 9? No, it's tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. They actually have the Clippers the Lakers, a 5-point favorite over the Wolves in L.A. Ooh. Is that probably good?
I think in LA, 5 points is reasonable, honestly. Okay. I think the Wolves will close it, but I think from the betting lines, that would not surprise me at all.
And the Warriors with a win, so they have a 3.5 point favorite to go against the Rockets. What is that, tonight? That'll be a great ball game as well. Rockets have to win that thing.
As you say, my mind has been changing since the start. I thought the Rockets were a tougher team than this, but I was, over the week, last week, I was kind of like, Warriors are better than I thought. But now it's like, I think they're clearly the better team.
They won without buckets yesterday. I mean, that was good to go. Cavaliers down the Heat 3-0. They got one more to go. That game, that'll be over, won't it, tonight? 6:30. That's done.
Probably, yeah.
Let's see, Pacers and Bucks. It's the Pacers 3-1. The Bucks lost to Lillian yesterday. I think that Pacers game's good. The Pacers will walk that. Knicks and Pistons, good series, 3-1. Did you see the non-call against the Pistons? Last second three.
No.
Second three.
I
They did
that.
not make the call. They didn't make the call.
Ooh.
They were mad. They were mad. Anyway, Celtics and Magic is 3-1. It's a Celtics win, right? I got to get into baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
Magic got the
Eastern
one. That's
series all pretty lopsided.
Yeah, the whole thing is. We got to go to break quick. You guys did hear that the Minnesota Twins started the baseball season this weekend, right?
They won
did.
a series.
I believe they started the season. They finally showed up. We'll talk about that next.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
There are many ways to explore Alexandria. Some like to experience the outdoors and all the fun winter in Minnesota can provide. Pick your favorite way to get in touch with nature. Others like to explore downtown in the warm comfort of a boutique or gathered around a table with friends. You can do all of that or relax and do nothing at all. Come explore Alexandria. Start planning at explorealex.com.
A as in alligator. L also in alligator. But it's not alligator. It's the Al Travis Show.
I think in the words of the mighty Twins, we're coming. We're coming. John, Twins showed up this weekend, winning 3 in a row. You got to love that.
You gotta love that. When's the last time the Twins swept a series? You're probably going to go back to
It's been a while.
Early August of last year because they had such a fade last year.
That sounds right.
And
Yep.
you know the Angels, I won't call them cellar dwellers, but they're not a great team. But at the same time, to dominate them the way they did, it was really, really nice to see the combination of good pitching coming through and good hitting. They're still leaving guys on base. I'm critical of that, but some guys are heating up, and there were. It wasn't just one or two guys. These were team efforts, especially on the offensive side.
I want to get Dan in here, but just throw this at you, Dan. You're a stats guy. Although a good 3-win sweep, everybody loves it. The problem is we're 6 back. When the weekend started, we're still 6 back. In the last 10, we're 6-4. Well, so are Kansas City and Cleveland, and Detroit's 8-2. We actually lost ground over the last 10 games, even though we're playing that much better. You can't give it up that early. Your thoughts on your Twins?
You can still. I mean, it's kind of the old baseball cliche, but it's like
Never true.
You know, all you got to do, you can only control yourself. That's going 6-4, 6 out of 10. If they can go 6 out of 10 the rest of the way, they will win the division. There's no question about it. If they can go at a 600 rate, they'll win the division. But
sure.
So you can only. But that makes the point here is that so the other teams are playing well right now as well. It's like, do what you can. Do it. Beat up the teams. The most thing is beat up the ones you are supposed to beat up.
Yeah.
At least show everybody that you are better than these teams. Then you can start getting that next run, hopefully. But yeah.
Well, they must be doing something, because I know it's got to been a week 10 days ago. We were making fun that the team hitting average like 199, and we just poked to 200. It's up to 226. Now, you're not writing home about 226, but that with as many bats as we've had, you've had to have been hitting well over that in these games. So it's got to be working out for us, right? I mean, it's 226, again, not writing home, but something's happening.
Well, they're showing some depth, too. Remember, we got a couple of starters that are on the list, right? So they're not playing. So these guys are picking up, I don't want to say they're scrap heaps, but some of these guys are stepping up and producing, and getting some hits and hits when it counts. It's nice to see. And what about Bader? Man, that guy's Gold Glove. He's having a Gold Glove season. I know he's a previous winner, but if he plays like that all season, he gets one.
Dan, let me ask about Joe Ryan. Striked out a season-high 11. Is the pitching coming around? They start feeling a little confident about themselves, or just a terrible Angels team?
Both. I mean, I think both can be true. The Angels, as John said at the start, the Angels are not a good team, but they're not as bad as they were over the last couple of years. They have been absolutely atrocious. They are still they're still not a 500 team probably this year. Trout is actually,
but they're not the White Sox.
No, but they're not a 50-win team either. They're not. But I am very encouraged by the pitching. And Joe, we know Ryan can do this on any given day. My concern with Joe is that if it seems like if there's one or two things that don't go his way, and he just kind of loses. And I'm not saying like he's petulant, but more of like he didn't get the call he wanted, and it just kind of, and then it just kind of throws him off for the next several pitches, and that's when he gives up those big dingers.
I want to get some wild in, but I need this from you, John. We're going against the Guardians. They're 2.5 up on us. Another sweep. We're in second place. Your thoughts, Dan or John? Call it.
I'm going to be a homer and say 2 out of 3.
That ain't bad.
I looked at the pitching matchup, and I think we can do it. If the bats are there, we can do that.
Dan?
It all depends on where Justin Bieber pitches there. Oh wait, no, Shane Bieber. But no, I'm gonna go 2 out of 3 as well. I think I think they keep the momentum going. I think they're starting to believe in themselves. As you said, they finally started the season.
Yeah, the season is underway. And then quickly now, the Wild we play. It's a 2-2 tie. We probably needed that last one. What are we thinking? They play this evening. Your thoughts on the game, John, real quick?
Well, it's a tougher environment back there, right?
Yeah.
They really needed that one yesterday. That overtime hurts, but I still think they're going to win the series. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing goes 7 games. They won 1 in Vegas. This would be the one to win. Okay. The next game coming to put the pressure on Vegas. So I think this is almost a must-win. Dan, and I think they can do it.
Dan, your thoughts?
Well, clearly they need to win 1 game in Vegas, and just the next game is not going to do it because that means they lose Game 7. But I don't expect them to be able to win 2 games in Vegas. So if the Wild are going to win it, they got to win it back here in Game 6. There's no choice, and I think so. If it goes 7, I don't like our chances. But if they can finish it in 6, if they can go. Then we got something, yeah.
All right, I'm out of time. Got to fly, my boys. Appreciate you being here. It's the guys at the end of the bench, John and Dan on the Al Travis Show.
Twins.
Dust from livestock buildings